Cellar Door crew are here in beautiful New South Wales, where I've tricked them into letting me come along for this 5-day odyssey through the best wineries, distilleries and cideries the state has to offer. So stick around for another, possibly the best ever, episode of the Cellar Door Australia. If you're going to do a travel show right, there's no better place to kick off proceedings than a visit to the world-famous Bondi Beach. After a quick coffee and a short drive, it's time to head to the first location of our week-long journey, Archie Rose Distilling Company. Founded here in the suburb of Rosebery in 2014, Archie Rose is just a stone's throw away from Sydney CBD. They're famous for their gins, but I've been told to expect so much more. First off, I'm meeting the venue manager, Jonathan. Why the name? How'd you come up with Archie Rose?
Good question. So Archie Rose was named after the area itself being Archibald Primrose, that they named Rosebery after. It was the fifth earl of the UK somewhere, relatively well off. And we wanted to make sure that when people come to Archie Rose and they saw the brand internationally, the word Archie Rose would actually, the name Archie Rose would come back and tie back to Rosebery. So even though we're not distilling this site anymore, it was the very first beginnings of our brand. It was where we decided that we wanted people to learn about spirits. So Archie Rose as the name refers to Rosebery itself. So as the brand grows internationally, you'll know that we have something to be proud of that relates to Sydney and showcases what we've done. Will Edwards, our founder, is an interesting character. He was quite young when he embarked on the journey of doing this place, and he questioned why Sydney didn't have a distillery. And he wondered why and pondered for 6 months and found out it wasn't going to be illegal, but it was going to be extremely difficult. And for that one reason, he said, I'm going to be the first person to build a distillery in our own generation to showcase the education of spirits. So it has to be within Sydney City. So he wanted to build a distillery so he could showcase whiskey, gin and vodka. And the fact that being the first of our own generations means that we're getting in touch with some culture and history that we've lost touch with. And it's been working pretty well for us since.
I've only been here a short while, but after talking to Jonathan, I thought it might be worth taking a quick peek in the bar, just in case anyone might want to pour me a drink.
All right, so what you've got here is it's a nice selection of things that you don't usually see as an unaged whiskey to start off your board there, and then we propel all the way through our core whiskies and some interesting stuff on the end. We've always got some interesting whiskies coming out from this distillery and then the new distillery, so we like to showcase those in the venue here.
I'd like you to walk me through the best way to experience whiskey. I have experienced it before, but I want the Archie Rose way.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is pretty universal. You really want to taste what's going on inside the glass. So the best way to try them is neat, how we've served them up there. We've put the lid on the top to keep in a lot of the aroma. So the first step to tasting the spirit is giving it a nice smell. You want to get all the aroma out of the glass there. So as you're lifting the lid off, you want to catch that aroma as soon as it comes out of the glass, because as soon as you do that, it's going to start to come out of the top there. And then we have another step where we got the water dropper on the side here. A lot of these are straight alcohol, so if you're wanting to distract your mouth from the burn that you sometimes get from these spirits, you can put a few drops of water in there. That just allows the ABV or the alcohol content to be reduced, and therefore your palate can actually accept all the flavour it has to offer.
Let's get started. Where should we start, at this end?
Yeah, we start from the left. We actually go through a bit of an evolution of styles. So this first one we notice is clear. It's actually not a whiskey yet. I called it a whiskey flight, and we've already started off with something that isn't a whiskey.
You threw me a curveball.
I know, right? It's but it's an interesting learning curve. This is known as our white rye. To become whiskey, it needs to be aged for at least 2 years inside of a barrel. So until it's spent 2 years in a barrel, it actually is not a whiskey yet. So this is made in the exact same way as our rye malt whiskey, except we haven't aged it at all. And it's a really good experiment to show people the evolution whiskey has to go through in order to become from the brown spirit that we end up enjoying in the glass.
So it's a baby whiskey. It hasn't got its
Yes.
full wheels yet.
That's exactly right. It's
Learner.
a toddler at this point, yes.
All right, so I might just let the aroma come through.
Yes, give it a nice smell. Don't put your nose in too far. Try to get it, and then you can get a little bit closer as your palate warms up to it. And then what you want to do when you're taking a sip, you just want to put the tiniest bit on your tongue there. When you're drinking it, as it is straight spirit, as we said, it's still going to be a bit strong, but you want to get all of that flavor out of it. So just put a little bit on your tongue and allow that flavor to develop on your palate.
It's almost like a touch sweet.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, this one. Because we've actually malted the rye, you're actually getting a lot more sugars in the rye, and therefore it comes off a much sweeter than you would normally see rye. It works with rum cocktails, it works with gin cocktails, it works with whiskey cocktails. You can basically use it as a white spirit that has a lot of flavor, so you can use it in a lot of different cocktails there.
It's delicious.
Yes, I quite like making a whiskey sour out of it, or even something like daiquiri or a mojito, something rum-based, a more tropical, more vibrant. It works really well.
I can definitely imagine that with all these flavors. And I don't even feel like I need to water it down either. It's
That's awesome.
More from Archie Rose after the break. I'm kicking off a week-long tour of New South Wales with the Cellar Door team. And today I found my way to Archie Rose Distilling Company here in Rosebery. I've already had my first whiskey, so things have started off pretty well. While with Jonathan, I wanted to know how he got involved with Archie Rose.
I started working at Archie Rose purely based on the fact that I love spirits.
Yeah.
I was finishing my degree in property economics, and I was like, you know what, the first distillery in Sydney, it'd be silly not to join the company as a bartender and see where this develops. I've always been interested in spirits, but noted that I couldn't fly to Scotland at a whim. So coming to Sydney in the first distillery was purely based on the fact that I enjoy spirits. I left my degree to stay here at Archie Rose.
Wow, that exciting.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little bit of a departure from what you were studying.
Property economics to bartending and learning about spirits has definitely been an interesting journey. But what I found is that you get to meet new people, nice people, people who love spirits. You get to teach and educate people. It's just been a whole different world and totally not what I expected.
Yeah, what an adventure.
So this is our gin still. This is the first gin still we've ever had since December 2014. This is where the first signature dry gin was created. As you will see, the actual pot still itself is quite unique. It is a pot still with a Carter head modification here. And this is where we've distilled each of our botanicals separately.
Oh, wow. And is it a little bit more modest than what you've come to down the track? Is that starting spot?
So as you can tell about this space, it is a little bit empty now. We have created a new distillery down at Banks Meadow where we can keep up with the volume. This space is still licensed as a distillery, can function as a distillery. However, we've taken it as part of a space of hospitality to teach people about spirits and have something that's a little bit more modest that people can relate to.
Yeah, and it's where it all began.
100%.
So can you explain to me how this still works?
Yeah, absolutely. So with the gin still, it's pretty simple. We buy in our neutral ethanol, so it comes from Manilja Ethanol Plant in Nowra. It's probably too much information. But from the neutral spirit that comes in 1,000-litre containers, we dilute it with water and break it back down, and then we add it into the pot still itself. We then choose one botanical that we want to distill, and we use one part of the actual pot still. So either in the base, or holding in a steeping basket up the top where the vapors travel through, or in the Carter head up top there. So as it distills, the flavors will come through the actual botanical, come down through the condenser, and will come out as a distillate at roughly about 72%.
Why copper?
Do you know why copper?
Is it more conductive?
Nailed it.
Did I?
So
Okay.
it attracts the impurities more. So it's kind of like using copper in cooking, like Indians would do culturally. It takes a lot more flavor. It takes a lot of the impurities out of the flavors you don't want. So you can get stills, a stainless steel in the bottom with copper on top, which is more affordable. But the reality is there is an argument of science behind it where less copper means a little bit more impurities coming through. So each their own. It's a funny one, especially when it comes to gin being the traditional spirit that it is, and how people are so passionate about it. You find that people are really one or the other, or they're just pretty happy, just enjoying the flavors for what they are.
Yeah, definitely. I think aesthetically the copper looks pretty impressive.
100%.
It's classic still.
Yes. So we've got whiskey next. So if we come check out the mash tun over here. you'll find that when we started Archie Rose, gin was always going to be the spirit that we knew that was going to grow fastest. And there's this big misconception that people think, hey, you did gin because whiskey's going to take too long and you need money, right? The funny thing is, that doesn't give us the quality assurance and like our appreciation of all spirits. So Archie Rose Distilling Company was designed for the fact that we want to care for each spirit individually and put the same care into each spirit. We've always wanted to do things from the very beginning by hand. So you'll find that this paddle is actually my old friend.
Wow.
I joined Archie Rose thinking, yeah, I'll get to learn about spirits. And then they said, hey, do you want to come, learn how to make some whiskey? And I was like, yeah, cool. Wouldn't that be fun? And this actually became my best friend. You feel the weight of it.
Yeah, that's not a light little shovel there.
No, and I'm not the biggest person. So when it came to actually making the whiskey, this actually was relatively new. This was like a new addition after we suffered from arthritic pain. But it took two of us about 30 minutes, like just stirring like this with 3,000 litres of water, 600 kilos of grain. I still have nightmares about this, and my wrist still tells me that I have nightmares about it.
Just paddling but going nowhere.
And I guess this distillery in this space really highlights our growth as a team and what we learnt as individuals and sort of how we sort of learnt from the very beginning that yes, handmade whiskey from the very beginning was always the romance behind it. But the reality is, if you want to make more whiskey, if you're suffering physical pain, you kind of need the tools.
Yeah.
So this space gave us the chance to learn all these things, and then the mash tun came in, and this does all the stirring for us, and it lasted a couple of years before we moved on to a bigger site.
Yeah.
So,
but you've got the paddle to always remember where you started.
We've got the paddle to remind us of the traditional ways of making Australian whiskey, which is how a lot of the distilleries are working, by hand paddling, and it's truly romantic. But it is tough work. Kudos to them.
Yeah, that is actually heavy. I know I haven't been to the gym for a while, but how many hours did you do this?
Half an hour of two people every day, 7 days of the week.
Yep.
With 600 kilos of grain pulled out of a big bag. So a bit of deadlifting, bit of So this is the pride and joy. When we first opened Archie Rose, this was the beauty of the entire space. People were amazed by the size of it all. At 3,600 litres, at the time Archie Rose opened, it was the biggest independently owned copper pot still, made in Tasmania.
Wow.
So brought on the back of a truck and installed here in late 2014.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
What this pot still did for us was produce a lot of the original whiskey-based spirits for us at the very beginning, and even some rum-based spirits as well. So it's done a hard slog of 7 years of operations, and it's produced a lot of the single malt whiskies, the rye whiskies that we'll be able to taste later on today. And this is where all the products that you can buy at Archie Rose have come from, essentially this space.
Yeah, wow. Impressive. All this talk of whiskey, I think I need to pop back to the bar and continue that whiskey flight.
This one now is the rye malt whiskey. So this one, we're really proud of it. It has won a bunch of awards internationally and within the country. And that's because of the way we make the rye whiskey. It's a really unique style. This one, you're gonna smell a big difference compared to the first one.
Okay.
As I said, it's the same recipe, except there's one big difference in this one, and that's the oak from the barrel that it's spent a lot of its life in.
Okay.
So you're gonna smell caramel, you're gonna smell vanilla,
yes,
you're gonna smell all of those really heavy flavors that come from an American oak cask.
Yeah.
It's a virgin American oak cask, so a lot of that flavor gets imparted from the wood into the whiskey in just a short amount of time.
Yeah, and so this is a Rosebery local?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, this
Brewed
is
right here in Sydney.
Yes, that's right in the stills behind me here. Some of the barrels were actually matured in the bar here back in the day,
wow.
Yes.
Ooh, I like that.
So you see how it's mellowed out?
It's mellowed out, definitely. There's, in the mouth it feels really nice and fresh.
Yeah, cool.
I definitely don't even want to water it down either.
Yeah,
Right.
it's the best way to have it, I recommend.
The few things that we like to focus on here at Archie Rose before the whiskey spirit is actually considered is we work on a lot of different types of grains. So our new make spirit that came out back in like 2016, 2017, give or take, we're highlighting the different styles of grains that we use at Archie Rose. So we try to use the local where possible. We're working with farmers to grow the grains that we want to see in whiskey. We're trying to appreciate the strains and the flavors that grains bring to the party, as opposed to saying a one size fits all. And we're trying to work with local farmers to make sure we can source as much as we can within Australia. So what you can see now, Matt, is the spirit still. This spirit still here is where the spirit will come out, where we'll actually get the full flavors of the actual new make spirit, which comes out crystal clear. has no colour to it. And then you find the flavours of the grains that we've chosen in the rawest and most purest form coming out here. From this point, we then look at barrels and consider what barrel will be best used to mature the spirit in a kind of like a perfect marriage of flavours. We consider the flavours of the grains first, and then consider the flavours of the actual barrel that will come and meet it halfway.
Yeah, wow. There's so much thought into it.
So this one here, you see there's been a bit of work on it. It's gone through some hard yards. The spirit still here is the final product for the actual whiskey making process before it goes into a barrel. And you'll find that the barrel itself will impart lots of different flavours. So at Archie Rose, we work between ex-bourbon barrels, a pairer being Australian sherry, and even tawny port cask. There's a few surprises down the line that will come out in the near future, which are more local woods as well. But we can't really discuss that here today.
It's under lock and key.
Hundreds. Yeah, absolutely.
So, Jonathan, tell me about this.
So this one is our single malt whiskey. This one came out just after our rye malt. It was the second core whiskey that we released. And this is more similar to your Scottish styles of whiskey, it being a single malt. Not to get too nerdy with you, but with single malts, they have to be made with all malted barley, the entirety of them to be called a single malt. But we've dug deeper into the definition, and we've actually used 6 different types of malted barley to create our flavour profile there. And those types of barley range from everything from a pale malt all the way through heavy roastings to a chocolate malt. So we've got a nice range of flavour in there. And to give you an idea of what flavours those impart, well, we've had pale ale beers before, so that's that pale malt giving you that really bright, citrusy, vibrant flavour. But also the chocolate malts and the caramel malts give you that almost stout-like flavour. So you impart this nice chocolatey richness to the whiskey, which I personally love.
Yeah, so it's backed up by that depth.
Yeah, that's right. It's more of a rich dessert whiskey, as I like to refer to it as. We've aged this one in a sherry cask, mainly, but we've also given it some bourbon cask and some rye cask maturation. So you're getting a nice rounding of those barrel flavours, but mainly that sherry cask gives it this lovely sweetness.
Already the aroma seems more sprightly.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of this one for drinking as is,
Yeah.
like that. The rye works really well in cocktails, the one you previously had, but this one I recommend just to be drank
straight.
like that. Yeah, there's so
Yeah,
much
it's
depth in the
delicious.
flavour.
Yeah, it definitely takes you through the palate too. The first bit is quite bright and then it really rounds out.
It gets a lot more richer and heavy as
Yeah.
you dive into it. That's why I'm a
It's
big fan of
delicious.
it.
So when people come and visit Archie Rose, what's some of the things that they can do?
Great question. So, Mads, most people come down here for either just the bar or just a couple of casual drinks for local folks. Otherwise, they will come down here for a gin blending class. We've actually got one set up for you. So, would you like to come down and check out our gin blending class?
I definitely would.
Let's do it.
All right.
I blended many things, but never gin. Watch me blend like I've never blended before, right after this break.
I've drunk a lot of gin in my time, but never before have I been able to mix my own. Until today, Archie Rose has asked me to collab with them to make my own special gin, and I can't wait. Let's go. I'm here with Jamie, and I'm about to do an Archie Rose blend your own gin, so I can control the flavor sensation. Is that right?
Absolutely.
I'm so excited.
So we're going to start off by taking one of those little gin bottles. And it's important we taste the base we're blending into. So take a little bit of that gin and pour it into your tasting glass in the middle of your board, just enough to get that taste. The tasting glass.
Failed the science experiment already.
That's all right, that's all right. Our new recipe of signature dry gin has 8 different botanicals.
It's very smooth already.
Absolutely.
I have to say.
So
Yeah.
to taste spirits neat, I'll give you a tip. Best thing to do is just get one little drop at the tip of your tongue to get the flavor without all of the burn. Because you'll be doing a lot of neat spirit tastings and it can
Okay.
be a bit intense if it's not something that you're used to. So once you feel comfortable with the taste, you can pour the entire bottle into that beaker.
Just, trying to save time.
Yes, exactly.
So it makes me feel like I'm doing the funnest science experiment.
Exactly. And then we have 8 botanicals to choose from on the board. Are there any that stand out to you from what you've seen?
I'm really interested in the lemon myrtle.
So lemon myrtle is one of the Australian natives that we will use for our blends. Lemon myrtle, when it's at its peak of season, has about 10 times the amount of concentrated citric oils than a lemon. And it's a native ingredient, so we're super excited to be able to use those as well. So take that lemon myrtle, and we're going to dive into the blending.
Is there a way that I might do it all wrong and put way too much of one, or?
1 drop of lemon myrtle is beautiful, 34 drops, and you might be drinking a cleaning solution.
Yes.
So add in a couple drops at a time. Start smaller than you think you need to do.
So we'll do 2 to start.
2 to start. Yeah, good idea.
Wow, I can already smell that lemon myrtle from just that
good.
tiny little bit. I think it's still a bit subtle for my palate, the lemon.
Absolutely. So add a couple more drops of lemon myrtle if you want to increase that intensity.
I only live once, right?
Exactly.
All right, I'm doing 2 more.
Okay, and then see if that made a difference.
Okay. I'm liking that.
You like that one?
That's really good.
All right.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think honey goes the best with lemon myrtle.
Yeah. So with the honey, would you go strong or light?
I'd go light on the honey.
Okay.
But for some reason, when you add honey to a blend, it subdues a lot of the stronger flavors and it helps you kind of start to neutral.
So honey is the eraser.
It's exactly, yes.
Okay. Someone like me needs a lot of erasers. Yeah. I definitely feel like that's brought a different edge to the lemon out already. It's a lot sweeter, but it's not sickly sweet. It's still
Yes.
quite fresh.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I've got 2 ingredients. So what would you pair?
We have 2 Australian natives,
Okay.
strawberry gum or river mint.
Go with the river mint.
Go for the river mint,
Yeah,
perfect.
wow.
It's mint that grows by the river.
Right. You know, Australians, we're very literal.
It's been really easy to learn about botanicals for that reason here.
Now, my controversial question for you, what's your favorite blend?
My favorite blend, I gave you my favorite blend. It's honey, lemon myrtle, and river mint. Those are my 3 favorite.
Oh, I love mint. So fresh, so good.
Yeah, when you add river mint to a gin, it's just like after you brush your teeth, how you get that nice lift and freshness.
Yeah,
so it's
definitely.
very bright.
At the end of the sip, you can really, that comes out at the end. And I feel like I could have this on the beach with some ice
perfect.
cubes in summer.
Absolutely.
I feel like this is a very happy drink. All 3 different things now I can really sense where they are.
Is there any additional flavors you would think to add?
I know, I feel like if I go too far, I'm going to ruin it. I'm going to have to go back to a lot of honey.
It's really like gambling. You have to quit while you're ahead in order to get a delicious flavor in the end.
I have to say, though, the most controversial one I think is on here is coriander.
Absolutely, it's coriander.
So can you tell me a little about coriander in gin?
So coriander seed is historically one of the most common botanicals to add to a gin. If you're familiar with the London Dry style of gin, in a London Dry you're guaranteed 4 specific botanicals: juniper, coriander seed, angelica root, and citrus peels. So even people who have that special gene that makes coriander taste like soap might like gin despite it. And so coriander seed is always sneakily in there.
That's something that everyone's surprised by?
Most people are surprised by that one. I'll often tell people to taste it, try to remove their biases of not liking coriander seed, because the leaf and the seed also have 2 different flavors.
Well, maybe I should add some coriander and just
Might as
see
well.
what happens.
Add a little bit of dryness too to kind of counteract the sweetness of the honey. I think that'd be good.
All right, here we go. Now I'm just going to do 1, but I quite like coriander.
Oh, perfect.
I have to say that I think that coriander seed really brought out the whole ginniness of it.
Perfect.
Oh, so I like it.
Is that your blend?
I think it is. I think this is my blend. Is this a thing? Can I not spill it?
It's all right, everybody does. You got very close.
I'm so close.
And there's one final thing you need to do.
Yeah.
You need to name your gin. So whatever you'd like to name
Oh
it.
yeah, there's a space. I'm gonna call it Monday Star.
Oh, perfect.
Good way to start the week.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Jamie, for walking me through all these flavors, and now I've got my own little gin. Thank you.
It was my pleasure, Madeleine. Thank you.
Now that I've mastered gin blending, there's another glass of whiskey with my name on it.
So the next 2 are really interesting. We've made whiskey in a very different style, and these ones are more limited edition products, and these are here to showcase people kind of the stuff we're experimenting with at the distillery. And you'll notice straight away the color of these ones are significantly darker than the ones we previously had. This is our Blasphemy whiskey. So this is a really interesting one, and as a big whiskey lover, the name is very, very suitable because it is somewhat blasphemous for a whiskey purist, because
okay.
what we have done is we actually infuse some black coffee into our single malt whiskey.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, that's why we've called it blasphemy. We know a lot of whiskey purists might be like, don't touch the whiskey, it's perfect already. But we thought, what happens if we were to do this? It's actually a collaboration with St. Ali, some coffee roasters in Melbourne. And we really wanted to showcase their lovely roast with our single malt whiskey. And we've kept the percentage above 40%. So it's still in the spirit realm of its ABV. But what you're gonna notice as soon as you smell it is how much of that coffee flavor comes through on our whiskey.
Yeah, I can taste that.
It's
coffee.
lovely.
It's really nice and round though. It's not like a bitter coffee or something.
I was pleasantly surprised with how not bitter the whiskey came out by adding just black coffee to it without adding any extra sugar to it. So they've used a really, really good ingredients in this one here.
Again, this is perfect as is. Do most people just order it straight?
As is, although this one makes incredible cocktails.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, if you can utilize that lovely coffee note into a cocktail, it can be really quite tasty. Yeah.
And now for the last one in the flight.
Final one is a part of our Trials and Exceptions series. So this is a fully port cask matured whiskey. So at the heart of it, it is our single malt. We've got the 6 malts in there, but instead of the sherry cask and bourbon cask and rye cask maturation, they've gone for exclusively port casks. It's a little bit fruitier, it's a little bit more light. You almost get cherries, you almost get these really bright fruits out of this one.
Lovely, lovely, bright notes I would say for this one.
As opposed to, that's right, the single malt's quite chocolatey, quite rich, and this one you end up getting those really nice fruit driven notes out of it, which is quite lovely.
All right, I'm ready for this. Ooh, I like how that coats the mouth.
Yes,
that's really good.
It's a slightly higher ABV than the other one, so what you're actually getting is a lot more full mouthfeel, bigger flavor, all of that.
Yeah, it's nice, it's a good showstopper.
Yes.
Well, I found my spot here at the bar. I've got my gin gimlet. I've got this incredible cheese platter that I'm very excited to get into, but I can't wait any longer, so I'm gonna get into this. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.